This is Duke University.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2014. Please be seated. It's my great honor and privilege to be the Dean of the Fuqua School of Business. Every day at Fuqua is a great day. Today is a spectacular day, and I'm thrilled that we can share it with so many people. I'd like to start by recognizing the people that are here, starting with the graduates. Though their numbers are small, we have 3 PhD graduates with us today. Their accomplishments are weighty, though their numbers are small. Then we have our daytime MBA graduates. And you have put everything into the program that you could. It seems appropriate to talk about something that Coach K will frequently refer to as we're here on Coach K Court, which is he's looking for people who will unpack their bags. And all of you definitely unpacked your bags. You made a commitment to fully vest yourselves into your experience. You threw yourselves in a big way. You committed to each other. You committed to us. And you endured the stress, the strain, the challenges, the suffering that I heard about. And I think, hopefully, that you also enjoyed being stretched, developed, and growing, and yes, maybe you had a little bit of fun along the way as well. So you've thrown yourselves in a way that has made this place better, and we're deeply appreciative that you've done so, and because of that, we're going to miss you. My hope is that at least a small part of you feels the same way, that maybe you'd like to be here a little bit longer. But as I move on to the next group of people that I'd like to thank and recognize, it's all of the friends and family, the people that are here today to support you, and the people who can't be here today who have supported you, who have made this experience possible, and done the things that allow you to have this tremendous celebration. For all of those people, I suspect there's no ambiguity in their feelings. They're ready for you to be done. So let's get on with it. Let's get to the next stage of life. Yes. I also want to recognize the faculty and staff who have put their heart and souls into creating a transformational experience. And I couldn't be more appreciative of everything that they've done to make this something that really is memorable and important in your lives. And so to all of you, I say thank you for co-creating an incredible experience together. With that, I'm now going to turn the microphone over to Simon Moore Crouch and Rachel Lambert, the MBA President and Vice President, and they will take it from here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, class of 2014. What an exciting day to be sharing with you guys today. Before we get started, there's 3 things that we'd like you, as the class, just to check off for us, please. Can someone confirm that Michael Petro is actually in the room today? He's here? Great. Whoever's sitting next to Jim Aguntamine, can you just tap him on the shoulder and make sure he's awake? He hasn't fallen asleep already? Perfect. And finally, maybe one of the ladies might want to do this. Can someone just check that Jack Butel is actually wearing something underneath his graduation robe?
Okay, now that we've got those three things checked off, we can get started. Simon and I wanted to start today by reminding you of a time 10 months ago when we all sat together in Janine. It was the start of our 2nd year, and we had the opportunity to speak with you about Team Fuqua. We told you about the values that we hold together as a community. We told some stories about all of you and how your actions have exemplified what it means to be a part of Team Fuqua. And on that day 10 months ago, we made a challenge to you, and that challenge was about this day here today.
That challenge was about today, May 10th, 2014, and about what you're about to do in about 10 minutes' time. We challenge you to be prepared today to walk across this stage in front of your friends and family with a sense of uncompromising integrity that you had lived your 2nd year here at Fuqua fully, being true to yourself and being true to Team Fuqua. the 430 people that are surrounding you here today. We stand before you today and know that each and every one of you have lived that out these past 12 months. Maybe you took Frank Ecker's incredibly difficult valuation class or Chi Chen's financial statement analysis. Maybe you did study abroad in a country that doesn't speak English and pushed yourself. Or maybe you did some amazing athletic feat. Each and every one of you have lived the last year with a sense of uncompromising integrity, and you should be incredibly proud as you walk across this stage today.
So today, we have a new challenge. And the new challenge is to take what it means to be a part of Team Fuqua and the values that entail forward with you into your new careers as you make new friends. I want to tell you a little bit about one of the values that's been very important to me in my time here at Fuqua, and that's collective diversity. My first year at Fuqua, I was so excited. I got assigned to one of the most diverse teams at Fuqua. Jessica is from South Korea, Bruce, China, Jose from Peru, Joel, born in Ethiopia, moved to Milan, and then I lost track. Trey held it down for the East Coast, and I held it down for the West Coast. 4 men, 2 women, and a diversity of backgrounds and experiences. One was missing, accounting. It was a few hours into our first case, and all I could see were the inefficiencies of our differences. Jose continued to challenge our assumptions. Bruce brought up a completely different path that would take many more hours to follow. Trey was trying to keep us together so we actually liked each other, and Joelle and Jessica were sitting quietly in the corner. It wasn't until many hours later that we learned a very important lesson. Jessica's a genius. She helped us get through that case and many more after that. It wasn't until many cases later and many classes later that the real lesson was unveiled. And that's that, as a team, our collective diversity meant that we were greater than the sum of our parts. When Jose would challenge our assumptions, he ensured our case was airtight. Bruce, whenever you would try to take us in a new direction, you made sure that innovation was at the forefront of what we were doing. Trey, you made sure we loved each other at the end. Joelle, you were up at 2 and 3 a.m. making sure things were polished. And Jessica, you continued to be a genius. Thank you. It was really important. My challenge to each of you today, as you start to make new friends, as you enter new jobs where it's important to start to fit in, that you fight conformity. Conformity may be the easiest path towards being accepted into new groups, but my challenge is to find the differences that you bring to the table, from your backgrounds, your cultures, everything you've learned here, and everything that's important to you. Bring it to the table every single day, and know that the collective diversity that you bring is the strength of being a part of Team Fuqua.
The value that I'm going to take with me from this place is supportive ambition. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about Casey Carroll today. We've all heard enough about him over the last 12 months. The story I'd like to tell about supportive ambition is something personal to me. Some of you might know that about a month ago, I ran the Rock and Roll Raleigh Marathon. It was something on my bucket list that I never truly thought I would be able to achieve, until I came to this place, until I became a part of Team Fuqua. The people that pushed me to push myself to run 42.2 kilometers if you're from the Commonwealth, or 26.2 if you're from North America, 26.2 miles if you're from North America, were my classmates here at Fuqua. I had Dean Russ Morgan telling me to do it, a veteran of 8 marathons. He was supporting my ambition to tick this item off my bucket list. Molly Beck, a great friend, same thing. Just sign up, put the cash down, and then you'll run the marathon. Jacob Johnson, sending emails from across the world in Southeast Asia to make sure I was following my training plan. And then the man who really made it happen, the man who supported my ambition to run a marathon, our resident Israeli superman, Dan Reishes, who mile after mile on the American Tobacco Trail, holding my gels, holding my Gatorade, pushing me, supporting my ambition to achieve this goal. But the lesson was not so much in that. The lesson for me about supportive ambition was when I crossed the finish line. And although my fiancée Jessica was there and she was cheering really loudly, I think she lost the crown of the loudest cheerer to, again, Molly Beck. She was more excited that I had finished a marathon than I was. She was more proud of my achievement than I was, and so were the other classmates who were there at the finish line, and that meant a lot to me. The fact that she had supported my ambition to achieve one of these dreams was incredibly powerful. So the lesson that I'm taking away from this place related to supportive ambition is to make sure that you give the best gift that you can give to anyone. All 430 of you. Give the gift of your time and talents and your loud screams on the finish line to help other people achieve their goals. That is truly what it means to be a part of Team Fuqua.
These are the values that we're going to take with us. And we implore you in the next few days, as you're spending time with your family, as you're saying goodbye to friends and you're saying goodbye to this beautiful place, to reflect on the values that have been important to you in being a part of Team Fuqua, and reflect on the values that you want to bring forward into the world as a proud member of the class of 2014.
Although we might all take different things away from this place, together we all take one thing, and that's the fact that together we are the Fuqua class of 2014. A name that means something. It doesn't matter whether you're a Lambert, you're a Lyons, or you're a Lou. If you're a Moorcrouch, a Manti, or a Mansakani, together we have this thread that keeps us together and binds us all together, the Fuqua class of 2014. And that means something. Always remember that it means something. And the thing that it means most importantly is to be something. Don't just do things. Be something and be someone, class of 2014. As we leave this place, live out what it means to be part of Team Fuqua and live out what it means to carry that name with you for the rest of your life. Be the class of 2014. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So now, in the spirit of what it means to be a part of Team Fuqua, I would like to introduce three of our classmates to the stage. Rich Karcher, Jesse Montgomery, and Grace Webster, who are going to present the class gift to the Fuqua School of Business.
On behalf of the class of 2014, we would like to present this check to Dean Boulding to show our support for the Fuqua School of Business. This gift to the Fuqua Annual Fund will help fund activities such as faculty research, scholarships, and global initiatives. This was a great year. We raised $30,427.14, with 94% participation from our class. Class of 2014, thank you for your participation and support.
Thank you all so much. To borrow from the notion of supportive ambition, it's extraordinary that not only do you support the ambitions of each other, but you're supporting the ambitions of the school and those who will follow you to make sure that what happens for the next group of people can be even better than what you experience. Thank you so much for your support and commitment to our future.
So I have the great pleasure of introducing our class of 2014 speaker, Crystal Brown. She was nominated by her students, you guys, her classmates, to speak to you, and I think I know why. Crystal exemplifies Team Fuqua. She's witty, she's funny, she's got a smile on her face, and I think she's got a really important message for everybody today. Please join me in welcoming Crystal Brown, the class of 2014 speaker.
So the other stuff went really fast. Wow, the Fuqua School of Business, class of 2014. Hi, guys. It truly is an honor to stand before you here today. And when I got the email saying that I was chosen to speak, I was really surprised because I had no idea that you guys knew who I was. So. Then I got really nervous because I know a lot of you and I know just how amazing you are. So laugh at my jokes because I'm nervous and make me feel good up here, guys. And hoping not to disappoint, I started asking you what you wanted to hear today, and 3 resounding themes emerged. First, almost everyone suggested that I tell my story, so I hope to share a little bit of that today. In addition, almost all of you said, talk about that time we worked on XYZ team together, or the time we traveled to such and such place together, or that day when we did the most amazing thing ever together, essentially to share our story. And so I hope to do a bit of that too. And finally, I was sternly cautioned by several of you to not, and I quote, go on like the person from last year, because she spoke for like 45 minutes. Well, I watched the YouTube video of graduation last year, and she spoke for 9, but I get it, guys. I guess every minute up here feels like 5, so I hope to be a little brief. So my experience at Fuqua really has been nothing short of amazing. And when amazing things happen to me, I tend to look back at what got me there. And standing here in front of you, I never ever thought that I would be here in front of, I think someone told me like over 2,000 people. I was like, oh my God. I never thought that I would be standing in front of one of the most prestigious universities in the world. You see, my story begins on a very small Caribbean island named Trinidad and Tobago, where I was born to teenaged parents. My father passed away when I was 9 months old, and my mother, by the age of 21, already had 3 children. With less than a middle school education and facing limited job opportunities in a developing country, she emigrated to the United States to try to make a better life for herself. As the years passed by, I lived in one too many houses to count, and at 14, I moved to New York City and lived with my grandmother in a 1-bedroom apartment that at any given time housed about 8 people. Back then, though, I never ever realized that we were poor. You see, my family was really, really excited that I had opportunities that they had not, that I had the opportunity to achieve the American dream. And so I worked really hard in high school, later became the first in my family to go to college, and after several years of promotions and pay increases, and what I deemed as success, decided that I wanted to go back to school. So enter Fuqua. 2 years ago, as we sat in our core classes, I felt everything but success. The girl to the left of me was running her own company in China. The girl to the right of me was starting her own company. The guy to the front had just finished his PhD in a field that I did not even know existed. And the guy to the back, well, I was in section 1, so that guy was asleep. Every section has one, though. On a serious note, though, I, like you, like many of you, felt like that one admissions mistake. And as I looked around at my classmates, you guys just all seemed more prepared, more rested, more exercised, and just less stressed than I was. Until one evening, I met with a teammate who is by far the smartest girl that I have met in my entire life. And she'll shudder as I say her name because she hates the spotlight. But I met with Denise Hader to work on a project for class. And we never worked that night. We literally sat in that team room and cried. Cried about just all that was going on and what we were stressing out about. Through the tears, what I realized was that we were all struggling with something. For me, it was statistics. For some, though, it was recruiting, and for others, it was personal and family related, but we were all going through something. 2, everyone here was willing to help whatever you were going through. And 3, not understanding multiple linear regression in the grand scheme of things is not that big of a deal. Though I did take away that R squared is never the right answer. After my cry fest with Denise, I realized that without knowing it, I had made assumptions about others that made me overly critical of myself and afraid to reach out for help. I essentially put conditions on my life that could have prevented me from achieving my goals. After my time here, I vowed to never be afraid or ashamed to be vulnerable, to admit that I need help, because it was in those very moments of vulnerability that I was able to see what makes this place so absolutely special. I made it through statistics, thank goodness, and Fuqua in general because of you. Because of the professors who allowed me to spend countless hours in their office going over and over a concept until I got it. Because of classmates who reached out to me, sometimes even before I realized I needed help. Because of this entire community that recognizes that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I took Joe LaBeouf's leadership class, and it really was one of the most transformational classes that I've taken in my entire life. And we all hear that alums say that Fuqua is a transformational place, and I didn't quite get that 2 years ago. Because you see, as business people, we are trained to measure progress, trained to measure results, trained to measure failure, and trained to measure success. But what I have experienced here, what we have experienced, is so much more than what can be measured. And while we can't quantify the number of cases that we've read, the number of interviews that we've went on, and the number of new stamps in our passports, what we can't quantify are some of the most important things. The wealth of diversity of thought, of experiences, and of culture has made this an academic, professional, social, and growth experience. Fuqua has pushed me, it has pushed us way out of our comfort zones. It has challenged us to be ethical leaders that will make a difference in this world and equipped us to be true leaders of consequence. We've studied, eaten, interviewed, traveled, and lived together for the last 2 years. And the tight proximity of it all can sometimes blur the lines between the lessons. But as I stand here today, I want to let you know that all I feel is gratefulness. From you, oh my God, please don't cry, Crystal. From you, I have learned so much about business and just so much about life. And so as I conclude, I would like to thank a few of the many that has made this journey the best 2 years of my life. So to Liz and the admissions team, I will forever be thanking you for letting me in and for letting my classmates, and you guys really built the most amazing class ever. I believe that a lot of thought goes into that process. To the faculty and to the staff, thank you for approaching your work with a sense of passion and loyalty. I hated accounting before coming to business school, but Bill Mayhew can make tea accounting and balance sheets and spreadsheets the most amazing thing ever. So there's value in that. Thank you for your constant support here. To my friends and my family, who I see up there, and everyone else's represented here today, we are standing on your shoulders. Thank you for paving the way for us, for your constant support, and for paying off our student loans, if you like. To my husband, Hassan, and all the partners represented here today, thank you for taking this wild journey with us, for putting up with school-related conversations at every social gathering, for keeping us grounded, and for paying our bills while we were here. Really, thank you for that. And to you, my classmates, thank you for this experience. Thank you for this feeling, for what it feels like and what it means to be here. Team Fuqua, baby. I love you guys, for real.
Thank you for choosing Simon and Rachel as your president and vice president. Thank you for choosing Crystal as your class speaker. There is great wisdom in crowds. Within a Fuqua crowd, there is extraordinary wisdom. And I think all of them had just a fantastic message to deliver. So thank you to the three of you. Before we get to our commencement speaker, I'd like to just acknowledge a few people who have gotten your attention. We had an award ceremony earlier in this week, and we made some announcements around teaching awards. And so if I could just repeat that, I want to call attention to Mohan Venkatachalam, Dr. V. Who was awarded the Core Teaching Award, and then to Manuel Adelino, who was given the Elective Teaching Award. And finally to Candace Aldrich, who was given the Student Staff Choice Award. It's now my tremendous privilege to introduce Grant Hill as our graduation speaker. And I guess the first thing that I should note is that I'm very grateful that Grant is sharing his house with all of us. All you have to do is look up there and see number 33 and Hill, and you know this is his home. And so thank you for sharing. If you learn anything, what you know is you cannot handle Grant Hill one-on-one. And so when we had the idea that wouldn't it be great to have him as our graduation speaker, I decided that we needed to go for the double team. And so I went to two people who are with us here today. I went to Kareem Cook. Kareem, if you could wave. And Kareem was an undergraduate colleague of Grant's when they were in school together, and then Kareem did something really smart, which was he came back to Fuqua to get his MBA, and so class of 2000. And they've been great friends since they were in school together, and so I said, Kareem, can you help me convince Grant to accept this? And so he said, yeah, I'll do it. And so Kareem says, yeah, he's all over it. He thinks it's fantastic. But I didn't think that was enough. And so I also went to Janet Hill. Janet, if you could wave. Janet is Grant's mother. And Janet has been a great friend of Duke University and a great friend of the business school for many years. She's currently on the Duke Board of Trustees. Before moving into that role, she was on the Fuqua board for a number of years. And so she has been a wonderful supporter of the school, and so I sent a note to Janet, can you help convince Grant to do this? So I double teamed him. I'm not embarrassed, I'm not ashamed to admit that I went for the pressure there. And so when I finally talked to Grant, he said, I've got some problems. Some of you may know that he's got other things that he does, and he does media commentary for the NBA playoffs, and so he said, I'd really like to do it, but I've got these other job commitments I have to worry about. And so I thought, oh, that's tough. But he said, but you know what? My mother told me I have to say yes. And I think there's a very important message there, which is never forget the mothers, and a very important message as we come to Mother's Day. Never forget the power that mothers have. But if we talk about Grant in terms of why we want him to be our graduation speaker, the phrase that comes to mind for me is something that John F. Kennedy said many years ago, which is, To whom much is given, much is expected. And if you look at Grant and you see what's happened over his lifetime, this is an individual who was someone who had incredible athletic gifts, incredible intelligence, and never took any of that for granted for 1 second, but instead felt like he had an obligation to use those gifts, to be a part of teams where he could make those teams better, to give back, and to make a difference in his life and the lives of others through building great teams. And so he's had an extraordinary career on the athletic courts, one of the greatest college basketball players of all time, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. And what's interesting is some of those gifts that seem like this is so natural, during his NBA career, all of a sudden, there were challenges in terms of physical setbacks and having to endure surgery after surgery that kept him off the court, that kept him from being able to do things that he could once easily do with his body. But the thing is, he had never taken any of that for granted, and so when he had those setbacks, the resilience was there. He didn't have to develop some new skill, the idea of I've now got to work at stuff. It was always there because he'd always felt this sense of I need to make the most of what I've been given. And so he's a leader who makes great teams. He's someone who has incredible resilience, and he's someone who gives back in amazing ways, and someone who has transitioned from the athletic field to an incredibly successful business person in the private equity domain, someone who is incredibly successful in the media domain, and someone who gives back through his charitable activities in extraordinary ways. And so I can't think of anyone who would be better suited to deliver a message around what it means to make a difference and what it means to be consequential. There's just one other thing that I want to let you know, which is all of this is nice, but we've been working on Grant to join the Dean team. We realize that Bill Mayhew needs a little bit of help, and so we're kind of recruiting him for the next year game. And he asked a question. He said, "Well, can you make me look good?" No problem. Grant.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, Dean Boulding, for inviting me to address the class at this important moment of their graduation from Fuqua. It is a distinct honor to be here to celebrate with you and your families, and I extend my best wishes to each of you and to your families who supported and helped you reach this moment. Now, as I'm here in Cameron, I always look up at the banners and I see, as Dean Boulding pointed out, my jersey retirement, and I see also Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner, and Danny Ferry, three legends here at Duke that I had to follow. And those were big shoes to fill. Well, certainly following the remarks from Simon, Rachel, and Crystal are big shoes as well. And I think the three of you embody what Fuqua is all about, and congratulations to you. In anticipation of tomorrow, I'd like to also extend a happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are here in attendance this afternoon, and certainly my mom, happy Mother's Day. Now, before I came out here, I asked my mother for some advice about giving this graduation speech. And she, knowing that I have a tendency to be a little long-winded, she told me to remember the 5 B's. She said, "Be brief, brother, be brief." So, Crystal, I'll be brief. Unlike each of you, I do not have the benefit of a Fuqua degree, unless, as Dean Boulding talked about, allows me to apply for the daytime class of 2016. I'll have to work on them. While I do not have the degrees you will receive today, I am very familiar with Fuqua. Not only did my mother serve on the Board of Visitors for Fuqua for 14 years, but many of my closest friends, many of my closest Duke friends are double Dukies. With an undergraduate and Fuqua degree, and certainly Dean Boulding mentioned Kareem Cook, who's a chief operating officer at and owner of NatureAid, a vitamin supplement company in Southern California, and another friend, Mark Williams, who was the manager of 2 of those championship teams while an undergraduate, and now is vice president of Bank of America, where he restructures large debt obligations of some of the bank's biggest and most important customers. So I know from these guys the rigorous and timely training you have received, and I know how valuable it is today in the business, nonprofit, and government worlds. So of course, I am very, very familiar with this building, which holds a lot of special meaning for me. A great deal of who I am, of what I accomplished, was honed in this building, on this floor. Hopefully, while here, you had an opportunity to attend games in this building and contribute to the excitement that is Cameron Indoor Stadium. You see the national championship banners, the reminders of great players and great moments in Duke basketball history, and the tremendous success earned here in this building. I see that, but I also see a master class in life and basketball taught by a master of both. I see tough practices, relentless lessons in man-to-man defense, review of various offensive schemes, lessons in teamwork, collective responsibility, accountability, love, trust, pride. I remember and recall Coach K pushing and prodding us to reach beyond our grasp. Years of hard work with the goal of ultimately playing as one. Let me share a little story that taught me a valuable lesson. Many, many years ago, in 1990, my freshman year, we played and lost a game at UVA, the University of Virginia. You weren't supposed to clap. Not then. We were embarrassed by your Cavaliers. It was my first ACC game. And Coach called an unusual practice after we returned to campus immediately after the game. The practice was full on, it was spirited, and he really rode us very hard. It was probably, in hindsight, the toughest practice of my basketball career. My roommate and close friend, Tony Lang, in an attempt to try to prevent me from dunking on him, he accidentally broke my nose during practice. After the surgery to reset the nose, I camped out at Coach K's house for a few days. And because I couldn't sleep with the nose injury and surgery, at night I would sneak down into his kitchen to get some ice cream and some snacks. And sure enough, I would always find Coach down there reviewing film. Not tape or DVD, but film, like the old reel-to-reel projectors. Coach K's old school. Obviously, he would be preparing for the next practice, the next meeting, or the next game. And in spite of a team filled with not decent, but extremely talented players, if I must say so myself, he was always preparing for that next challenge and not taking anything for granted. This was eye-opening for me as an impressionable 18-year-old, and something I never forgot. I try to incorporate that lesson in my work now, as I did throughout my long career in the MBA. You see, Coach K, and I have to talk about him because this is his court, and Dean Boulding, this is his home. But Coach K earned his success through time, effort, and meticulous attention to detail. And by being the best prepared, and even over-prepared at times, for any or every eventuality. Another example that I can give you is one that they seem to play here every once in a while, and it was my pass to Christian Laettner in the 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals against Kentucky. Obviously, we practiced that situation, that pass, that play, many times prior to that moment. And so practice does not ensure a perfect outcome, but it contributes heavily to an optimal and satisfying outcome. So as I look out at all of you, you guys are all high achievers and I have many expectations for you that'll be great. With your Fuqua degree, you have the competitive edge, the perfect training for success in your chosen industries, the leg up versus your competition. You will receive the benefit of the doubt that accompanies the perception of anyone who has a Fuqua degree. Simultaneously, your excellence has already enhanced Fuqua for those who succeed you in the future. From this day forward, your journey is starting again. It's what you do from this day forward that will define you in the world. Whatever your industry, you will face obstacles and even failure on that journey because both are part of striving for success. As Dean Boulding mentioned, I experienced an arduous, persistent injury ordeal that interrupted my professional athletic career for over 4 years. Recovery was lengthy, it was difficult, challenging, and frankly, pretty lonely. My friends and family provided a lot of support, but in the end, I had to do it myself, alone. It was mentally, emotionally, and physically challenging. But I believe my Duke educations, the lessons learned on this court from Coach K, and my overall life experiences contributed to my recovery and my final 9 successful years in the MBA. So you too will face challenges, obstacles, and sometimes even some failure. It is your pursuit of excellence that will ultimately differentiate you from so many others. Rely on your powerful degree, your lessons learned from your families and your previous experiences. Handle your success well, and I'm sure all of you will. But remember, don't fear failure, because success has ruined many more before you. I took that one from my mom. Before I close, I want you to know, as Dean Boulding has mentioned, I have transitioned from an active professional athlete to a retired veteran status. I continue a commercial real estate business that I started 12 years ago. I am managing partner of Penta Mezzanine Fund, a private equity business targeting lower middle market businesses interested in growth capital. I take resumes if any of you have them. And while I have taken the lead on raising money in our fund, deal sourcing, and managing our existing portfolio companies, the other managing partners are former Ernst & Young principals who bring an analytical rigor to our due diligence on each deal. Most days I'm in our offices, reviewing deals with our staff, and making decisions to go forward with some of them. And as you know, I'm also co-host of NBA TV's Inside Stuff, and I appear on NBA telecast of Inside the NBA on TNT and on the NCAA March to the Final Four with Turner Sports and CBS Sports. So I like to think I use my Duke education every day in all my work, even when I'm trying to deal with Chuck and Shaq on TNT. So in closing, I have a few principles to leave you with that I believe can be helpful. Number one, learn to adapt and adjust. When I think of that, I think of Coach K. Coach K has coached for quite some time, and his ability to adapt and adjust through the years. The current generation of players that he coaches are different than my generation. But to be able to coach, to lead, to motivate, and to inspire young 18-year-olds for the last 35 years certainly embodies what adapting and adjusting is all about. Number two, own your decisions. Life is nothing but a series of decisions, and sometimes you make some good ones and sometimes you make some bad ones, but certainly there are no excuses. Live from your decisions, learn from them, and accept ultimately that they're yours. Number three, remember your lessons learned here at Fuqua. You guys, it wasn't easy, it was hard. You guys were pushed, you were challenged. Crystal said that you were taken out of your comfort zone. Remember the foundation that was developed here at Fuqua as you move forward. Number 4, keep balance in your lives. Work hard, but learn to relax when appropriate. When you have balance in your life, your work will improve, and you ultimately will get better results. And lastly, as a married man, and knowing that Mother's Day is tomorrow, this might be the best advice. For those of you who are not married, always listen to your mother. And for those of you that are married, your spouse is always right. Yeah. You can clap now, UVA. So for each of you, I wish you tremendous success in your chosen industries. Like I said, remember your Fuqua lessons. Remember your ties to your fellow graduates. Remember Duke. Face the future with great anticipation and resolve. If you were knocked down or you fail, get up and try again. Those situations are opportunities for growth, the moment to persevere, endure, and show your academic and practical muscle. I look forward to your success as businessmen, as businesswomen, as innovators, as entrepreneurs, and as successful pioneers. Thank you for this opportunity. Congratulations to the class of 2014. Go Team Duke. Excuse me, go Team Fuqua. Go Team Duke. Go Duke. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grant. It's an honor to have you be a part of Team Fuqua and to help make our team better. I thank you so much for sharing those remarks with the graduates of 2014. On behalf of the entire community, I'd like to give you a small token of our appreciation. It's now time to move to the recognition of the graduates. And to help with that, I'd like to have Russ Morgan please step forward.
Thank you, guys. I think that makes a lot more sense for Grant Hill than me, but I got to tell you, that hits me at the heart. I love you guys. Thank you for that. So, well, congratulations, class of 2014. You're here. I know you guys are anxious to be recognized as graduates, but I've got a few very, very brief comments, so I'll try to stick to the 5 Bs here as well. Much like the comments I gave you guys on Thursday, I just want to express a little gratitude for you guys. And as we close out these last 2 years that we've had together, I want to first share a quote from Dr. Seuss that seemed a little appropriate and captures the paradox that the last 2 years have been for me with you guys. That is, how did it get to be so late, so soon? So it seems like no time at all since you guys got here for orientation in August of 2012. So although it's gone by fast, I hope it's been a great journey for you guys. So I've been reflecting a lot the last week or so, and I jotted down a few notes in terms of my thank you for you. So thank you. You've given us the Team Fuqua paired principles that Rachel and Simon spoke about earlier. You've helped us roll out classroom norms for the benefit of everyone. You've held amazing conferences and symposia. You brought in world-class speakers. You've created new experiences like Capstone and Dear World. You've not only met the academic requirements that we set for you, but you've actually helped your classmates meet those same requirements. You've mentored our first-year class, and you've prepared them to both formally and informally take over at Fuqua. You've cased them without reservation, and I know many of them owe their interview success, at least in part, to what you've done for them. You've planned and executed BDW and orientation to help recruit new students, hopefully like yourselves, and help us onboard them. You've produced amazingly funny and mostly respectful Fuqua Vision skits. You've beat Carolina at Blue Cup twice. And just as importantly, the last 2 years, I didn't get any calls from Duke Rec afterwards. So. You've showed other schools how great we are and how we connect to the North Carolina community through the MBA games. You've supported your classmates and helped raise money for the summer internship fund by growing ridiculous mustaches for Stash Bash. You've led bold events, literally to the tops of mountains, to help push each other and help each other discover your limits. You've showed us your world and cultures through Global Week and through Fuqua Discovers. More personally, you've danced with me. Thank you, Jamela, wherever you are out there. And you've danced with other faculty, staff, and each other. You've played basketball, volleyball, ping pong, golf, cricket, tennis, and other sports with us. Over the last 2 years, you've fed us well, from around the world dinners to Iron Chef, where I've got to taste, admittedly, some of the best cooking I've ever had. And you've entertained us all at Fuqua Idol and Fuqua's Got Talent and helped us appreciate just how multidimensional all of you are. I can't imagine another top business school with such accomplished performers and musical talent. And finally, thank you for helping make Fuqua a place that we're all proud to call home. So as you graduate and prepare to move on to other new and exciting things, I want to give you one last message that you've earned, and that is, we believe in you. We believe in you because we've seen all the amazing things that you can do. On behalf of everyone at Fuqua, thank you for recognizing your potential, and thank you for all that you've done. Hey, we've recognized a number of individuals in this class, and I want to publicly recognize you here today. First, for each graduating class, we recognize the top 10% of the class based on their academic achievement. These students are designated as Fuqua Scholars, and this year's recipients are noted in your program. Would the 2014 Fuqua Scholars please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Second, the students in each graduating class and the Fuqua deans nominate and select students for a number of awards based on their contributions to the Fuqua community. These awards and the recipients are also noted in your program. At this time, I ask that the second-year award recipients please stand and be congratulated for your achievements as well. Thank you. All right, now it's time to individually recognize each of our graduates. Today, we want each of the graduates to come forward and be recognized and congratulated by Dean Boulding, Grant Hill, and me. Gentlemen, would you please stand forward? At this time, I'd like to ask Jim Bettman, the Burlington Industries Professor of Marketing and Director of our PhD program, to come forward and read the names of our graduating PhD students.
Saed Elizamir, Kai Wong, Bo Zhou.
Thank you, Jim. Now I'd like to ask Liz Riley Hargrove, our Associate Dean of Admissions, and Cheryl Dirks, our Associate Dean of Career Management, to please come forward and read the names of our graduating MBA students.
May I have your card, please? Simon Moore Crouch. Rachel Lambert. Crystal Brown. Jessica Blair Montgomery. Richard Lee Karcher, Jr. Grace Elissa Webster. Ishan Acharya. Sanjay Vilas Acharya. Isin Ochikos. Chiri Abinega. Nikhil Argawal. Nayan Ahmad. Arif Hassan Ahmad. Chris An. Sammy Alami. Rafael Garcia Andrieta. Bruno Romano Andrioli. Shun Aoki. You can give me the card for us. Eric Christopher Ashwald. Megan Archer. Nisha Asher. Nicole Marie Argeropoulos. Got this one. Avery Keenan Armour. Benjamin Atria.
Like Shaquille O'Neal.
Hamid Shakil Azmi. B. Hyung Ho Bae. Caroline Fanning Barker. Claudia Barna. Joseph Patrick Bartel. Molly Ann Beck. Gil Becerra Filo. Aaron Jean Benson. Sucharita Bitatkanti. Mohammed Benyaya. Mahesh Babu.
Middle name, yes.
Parker Elizabeth Bell.
Just first in.
Julia Bethune.
Say the whole thing.
Richard Keenan Lockham Bethune.
You tell.
John Collingwood Butel. Min Michelle Bien.
Bye.
Crystal Bai.
Barga.
Pranav Bargia. Andrew Edward Bonessa. Samantha Ann Brody.
Megan Brasher.
Megan Brasher. William Jackson Brasher.
Breeden.
Garrett Breedenkamp.
Yang Buntain.
Jennifer Yang Buntain. Christopher William Burns. Matthew Furling Burrows. Chase Stephen Busby. Keith Preston Akers. Brandy Lynn Butler. Brett Evan Bazura.
It is Kanani.
Aviv Kanani.
Candrian.
Jeffrey David Candrian. Casey Joseph Carroll.
Castagna.
Cara Elizabeth Castagna. Bryce Elizabeth Caswell.
Camiod.
Charles Eugene Camiad.
Fernando Sembrinelli.
Fernando Sembrinelli.
Chancellor.
Cordelia Grace Chancellor.
Chakraborty.
Alok Chakraborty.
Rajkumar Kopala.
Rajkumar Kopaparu.
Charnilas.
Nadav Charnilas.
Chada.
Sumit Rajesh Chada. Diane Chen.
Zhongwei Chao.
Zhongwei Chao.
Jota.
One more time. Okay. Giorgio Shioktas. Sorry. Francis Kofan Chow.
Goncalves, just first name.
Fabio Goncalves.
Kansu
Kansu
Cho.
Cho.
Yoon Jae.
Yoonjae Cho.
Young Kyo Che.
Young Kyo Choi.
Cohen.
Dennis Miles Cohen.
Bill.
Bill Culbertson.
Joanna Chu. The middle name. Say the whole thing.
Sachin Iyana Chu.
I think I can manage that.
Angela Denise Crocker. Juan Cox. Christina Chu. Peter Michael Thomas Classy.
Colindres.
Nestor Vidal Colindres.
Fine. Okay, Joseph.
Joseph Michael Converse.
Ellie Duvall.
Ellie Duval.
Wing Kit Chu.
Wing Kit Chu.
Dinus.
Zachary Mark Dinas.
Donzilo.
Juan Donzilo.
Divine.
Madeline Grace Divine.
Devoto.
Javier Devoto.
Rodrigo de la Masa Guzman.
Rodrigo de la Masa Guzman.
Okay. Dewani. Look at the
Deepak Dewani.
Edra. Do you want middle name? Okay, whole thing.
Edwa Lena Dickerson. Nathan. Nathan David Denistrin.
Echegaray Calderon.
Carolina Calderon Echegaray.
Just Fernando Escalera.
Fernando Escalera. Ernesto Escobar.
Whole thing.
John Bernard Ebersol.
We need the easy one.
I can do this one. Christopher Thomas Eck. Elise Lorraine Eggart. Manshona Edwards. Keith Sean Ellison.
Galvez Fernandez.
Lorena Galvez Fernandez.
Adham El Cerci. No middle.
Adham El Cerce.
Follow the pronunciation.
Mei Ching Fan.
Middle name, yes.
Sarah Catherine Fiegels.
Middle name, yes.
Andrew Donald Filaro.
I'm so sorry. It's Fekne, joint.
Nancy Lamaster Fekne, also receiving a degree from the Nicholas School of the Environment.
The whole thing.
Carl Russell Fletcher IV. Congratulations. Christina Renee Flood. Allison Elizabeth Flynn. Jennifer Cynthia Fluter.
Valerie Fomenko.
Valerie Fomenko. RJ Fox.
Okay, Urania.
Elise Urania Fullwood.
David.
Jose David Higuchi. Bella Gajos. Martin Ganda. Victoria Gandy. Matthew Seth Ganderson. Brian James Gellin. Rishi Gupta.
Giuffre.
Michael James Gouffre. Clark Whitney Graham. Aaron Michael Gress. Nidhi Gupta. Yasmin Sarah Hamdouche. Shohang Guo. Hung Guo. Benjamin J. Holm.
Middle name, yes.
Garrett Anthony Giles. Congratulations.
When she says
Matthew Kaiser Hamilton.
Hohenstein.
Raymond Charles Hohenstein II.
Mahmoud Imami. Say his middle name.
Mahmoud John Imami.
Barkanova.
Evgenia Barkanova.
Guzman.
Eric Guzman. Brooks Hopple. James Joseph Bo Hardy.
Middle name, yes.
Shelby Ray Hall.
Yes, middle name.
Ashley Joe Hobbs.
Oh, okay, thank you for telling me. It's a long O.
Kelsey Ann Hogue.
Jamela Keitha Holder.
Jamela Keitha Holder.
Lee Guan.
Lee Guan.
Herman Hurtado Castro.
Herman Hurtado Castro.
Jae Youngju Hum.
Jae Youngju Ham.
Shu Hong.
Shu Hong.
Lian Chin Hao, just like it.
Lian Chin Hao. Wei He.
Yes, whole thing.
Jacob Daniel Hausman. Nicole Hawkins. Carol Ann Healy, also finishing a degree with the Nicholas School of the Environment. Brian Mitchell Hamilton.
Middle name, yes.
Joshua William Hendrickson.
Middle name, yes.
Matthew Michael Heights.
Middle name, yes.
Ryan Matthew Hill.
Middle name, yes.
Lisa Rachel Huber, also finishing with a degree at the Nicholas School of the Environment.
Hugh.
Jason Hugh.
Middle name. Sure.
Christopher Michael Howard.
Hadair.
Denise Hadair.
Nowruz Yapakov.
Naruz Yakupov.
Alonzo Paris. Jared.
Catherine Graham Yaris.
Shin Zhang.
Shin Zhang.
Zhang, and say it as the Bible.
Maria Sumin Zhang.
Zhang.
Nicholas Zhang.
Jimenez.
Francisco Jimenez.
Love your lays.
Jacob Scott Johnson.
Ulap Javier.
Jill Ulap Javier.
Say the full name.
Kristen Dominic Jones.
Okay, just like it. Take your time. Do you want me to take over early?
Nikita Vijay Kulkarni.
Shantanu Deepak Joshi.
Shantanu Deepak Joshi.
Kanak Kishore.
Pinak Kishore.
Ankith.
Ankith Khanna.
Suryakant, and say the whole name.
Harsha Suryakanth Kanduri.
Anubhav Kaushal.
Anubhav Kashal.
Okay, Sharish Kirtan.
Tushar Sharish Kirtane.
Nabin.
Nabin Kanal. Christopher Richard Freeman.
Say the whole thing.
Lauren Rachel Kasman. Martin Kaczynski.
Panchana Pali.
Kirthi Kiran Kanchapali. Joshua Adam Kaler. Mark Frederick Kannerick. Robert William Kirby III. Zachary Aaron Kaplan. Joel Severin Christofferson.
Genevieve, not Jennifer.
Genevieve Ann Kim.
Coombe.
Megan Melissa Coombe.
Mayor.
Mayor Kornfeld.
You can get that one.
Jeanette Elizabeth Keene.
Casella.
Rachel Marie Kiselowicz.
Eleonora Curry.
Eleonora Curry.
Fernando Kovar.
Fernando Kovar.
Middle name, yes.
Ray Elena Krukov. Come here. Carly Ryan Kraus. Also finishing with a degree from the Public Policy School.
Kudrashova.
Irina Kudrashova.
Gompertz, do you want me to take over?
I'm good. Michelle Gumpertz Kirby.
Zan Wei Ka.
Zan Wei Kao. Jason Kim. Kyung Ho Kim. Tyler Kim. Daewon Kim. Lena La. Shruti Lanka. Zumbo Lawal. Ha Lei. Donghui Chris Lee. Jong Un Lee. Wanjae Lee. Raul Michael Leopando. Andre Lipavaka Ostos. Christopher William Lesser. Jun Lee. Ling Ling Liao. Xin Liu. Alvaro Lopez Sanchez. Sergei Lukyanov. James Edward Lyons. Liu Liu.
You're done.
Grant Stephen McDonald. Christopher Carter Mack. Brandon James Magzaman. Nishint Abhe Mahabal.
Peter Roland.
Peter Roland Mayer. Victor J. Ma, also receiving a degree from the Duke Law School. Arindam Mandal. Alfredo Viñas Mastercalos. Graham Thomas McDonald. Vincent McSweeney. Gregory Stephen Manty. Lauren Erica May. Jennifer Leah McFan. Mark Douglas McDonald. Daniel Paul McGowan. Margot McIlvain. John David Meek. Ankith Metha. Sonia Jayant Mehta. Irina Melnick. Tarika Mansakani. Nicholas Monroy.
Andres Mesa Botero.
Andres Mesa Botero. Marina Mansour. Frederico Plas Rizzo.
Bruno Pereira de Souza Medina.
Bruno Pereira de Souza Medina.
Eduardo Tostes Milanes.
Eduardo Tostes Milanes. Jennifer Lee Miles. Ian James Miller. Gerald Lee Miller III.
Zubin Cyrus Mystery.
Zubin Cyrus Mystery. Ross Gregory Milton. Carter Raymond Morris. Braden Joshua Moore. John Wesley Moore. Richard Zachary Mozaleski.
Srinivas Moderetti. Srinivas Moderetti.
Srinivas Moderetti. Eric Matthew Nakano, also receiving a degree from the Sanford School of Public Policy. Venki Narayanan. Nebel. Reynold Nebel III. Jayesh Michael Needham, also receiving a degree from the Duke Law School. Janet Grace Ng, also receiving a degree from the Nicholas School of the Environment. L. Christine Nichols. Hiro Nishida. Isabel New. Michael Nov.
Jim Oguntaman.
Jim Oguntaman.
Oki Nuusu.
Oki Nuusu.
Beryl Ojwang.
Beryl Ojwang, also receiving a degree from the medical school.
Roberto Rolando Olivares Lopez.
Roberto Rolando Olivares Lopez.
Daniela Padron Sidone.
Daniela Padron Sidwan.
Ashwin Philip Olapali.
Ashwin Philip Olapali. Ulili Diak Ojini Onavakpuri. With apologies to her family. Kofi Saheni Ose. Corey Lee Painter.
Eduardo Palma.
Eduardo Palma.
Just like it says there.
Sanwit Dinesh Pandya. Alexia Park.
Mary.
I know. Delmarie, right? That's right. Delmarie Michelle Salcedo. Christina Marie Paulette. Sham Haresh Patel. Samik Paul.
Luis Enrique Perez Vidare.
Luis Enrique Perez Vidare. Michael Jason Petro. Justin Taylor Pierce.
Peredilskia.
Elena Peredilskia.
Maria Popescu.
Maria Popescu.
Parul Forgat.
Parul Forgat.
Pramus.
Andrew James Pramus. Timothy Joseph Presto. Binbin Chi.
Mustafa Jahil Qureshi.
Mustafa or Mustafa?
Mustafa Jalil Qureshi. Vivek Raghavapudi. Elizabeth Blanche Shillow, also receiving a degree from the Nicholas School of the Environment. Edward Kavanaugh Rogers.
Chad Zachary.
Chad Zachary Rose. Matthew Douglas Rogers.
Rutledge.
Adam Caleb Rutledge.
Ramos.
Marco Antonio Ramos.
Sebastian Corral.
Sebastian Tirado.
Jose Tomas.
Jose Tomas Robinson.
Juan Manuel Vasquez.
Juan Manuel Vasquez.
Alejandro Reyes Gomez.
Alejandro Reyes Gomez.
Lakeisha.
Danielle is your middle name, right?
Lakeisha Danielle Richardson.
Who wants Reyes?
Say it again.
No, I.
Yes.
Dan Ruckus. With apologies to his family. Michelle Christine Ryder.
Rixton.
Samantha Ann Rixtons.
Kana Marapuli.
Sumen Kana Marlapudi Rao. Christian Young Ricks.
Roshni, right?
Rashni Rathi. Jeffrey Wallace Risky. George Wren. Christopher Turner Roberts. Michael Joseph Rybacki. Elizabeth Catherine Sanchez. Matthew James Seitz. Christopher Andrew Selleck. Peter Sergel. Linda Shee. Erica Danielle Smith. Hannah Blake Soul Morris. Chantel Denise Pizarro. Reed Andrew Simon. Daniel Jonathan Scott, also receiving a degree from the Duke Medical School. Daehyun Sun. Chingiz Sadikov. Michael Thomas Springnether. Bixby Ogden Stewart. Abhishek Sharma.
First and last, Wakas Sati.
Wakas Sati. Kuber Sharma. Eugenio Sanziprian. Madhav Sharma. Nikhil Sane. Hemant Kumar Singh. Harsh Singh.
Naren Balaraj Singh. Is it Naren?
Naren Singh. Amaresh Sahu. Matt Slatnick. Michael William Slattery. David Owen Strickler. Clarice Elizabeth Strong.
Judith Jin Sun.
Judith Jin Sun. Mami Suzuki.
Last name Sevilla.
Kyle Michael Dalis Safilar. Manav Tandon. Kendall Logan Thurlow. John Selby Thurlow. Jonathan Thomas Tidd. Christopher James Tucker, also receiving a dual degree with Johns Hopkins University. Ashutosh Tyagi. Roni Alex Thomas.
Trich.
Kevin Barrett Trich.
Is it
Ting Ting Tang, also receiving a degree from the Sanford School of Public Policy. Yoel Teodros.
Tyson.
Anthony Joseph Tyson. Christina Janelle Tyson. Chibuzer Obi Ugokwe. Carolina Vulminat.
Do you want me to say them both?
Rafael Uribe Uribe. Amadeo Valdez Guerrero. Gaston Vivanco. Jose Maria Sáenz Rosas. Jonathan Lapchik. Denise Latarowski. Sergio Woolman. Ricardo Capitano Martins da Silva. Joelm Arthur Schittler Silva. Leping Shi.
Longsheng Zeng.
Langsheng Tseng.
Phelan
Palin
Sai.
Sai.
Stephen LeGrand Vance, also getting a medical degree from
Stephen LeGrand Vance, also receiving a degree from the UNC School of Medicine. Yoakum Christopher Vinberg. Avinav Upreti. Brian Alexander Van Winkle.
Arthi.
Do you want me to
Arthi.
Arthi, a minute.
Just get the first one right.
Arthi Vijay Vora. Matthew P. Walsh. Anthony Wang, also receiving a degree from the Duke Law School. Haibo Wang. Jonathan Wang. Chen Yu Wang. Brendan Ward. Sarah Wardy. Colby Raven Warner. Douglas Howland Warner. Michelle Way.
Where's Vicky?
Jude Matthew Weersbicky. Scott Lee Williams.
Wingert.
Just Scott Wingert.
Scott Wingert Jr.
Yewen.
Evan.
Yewen. Evan.
Evan
Yewen.
Yewen Wu. Jacqueline Coleman Wubbles. Ming Shu. Sahithya Yadati. Christina Marie Yajin, also receiving a degree from the Nicholas School of the Environment.
Jun Yen.
Jun Yen. Hanqing Yang. Yuejen Yang. Tian Yang. David Yao. Serena Arden Young. Wailan Yip. Sung Yi Yoon. Andrew Court Young. Herbert Brian Yu. She Yu. Angela Zhang. Qiushi Chan. Tian Zhang. Wenli Zheng.
It seems a bit anticlimactic at this point, but I present to you the Fuqua School of Business class of 2014. Okay, we are almost done. So first, I'd like to thank Grant Hill again and the other student speakers that we had for providing us with just tremendous remarks. I'd ask all the friends and family in the audience to please remain seated until we process out. And then we'll all join together in the Fox Center to celebrate this great achievement together. If I could, though, I'd like to ask all the graduates to remain standing, and I'd like to speak to you directly before we finish the day. The first thing that I'd like to say to you is thank you. Every graduating class always asks, what is it about us that made us unique? And when they ask that question, what they really mean is, where do we rank and are we your favorites? That's a tricky question to answer because word does get around. And so last year, when I addressed that question, I said, you are the best class that has matriculated since I've been dean and graduated. And they were so excited until they realized that meant they were 1 out of 1. So let me stop being cute and say, you are the best graduating class ever. And you are unique. And what makes you unique is that you've carried through the program in your time with us this incredible combination of positivity about being partners with us in making this better, and a sense of accountability that all of us have a stake in making that happen together. And you completely believe in the idea of Team Fuqua. Coach K often talks about when two is better than one, when two can act as one. But imagine what can happen when you have 430 act as one. Imagine the power of that team. Imagine a team that draws from the strength of its diversity. Imagine a team that authentically represents itself in every interaction. Imagine a team that supports the ambitions of each other and the greater good in the world. Imagine a team that truly has an aspiration to make a difference in the world through what they do. And then that's the team we describe as Team Fuqua. That's what you've given us. You've given us a team that is better than any other team that has preceded you, and for that, I cannot thank you enough. Having just complimented you, and hopefully your hats still fit on, your heads haven't gotten too big, I want to make some requests of you. And as you've now transitioned from being students to alums, you can expect a lot of requests from me. The first one is, in the time that follows, as soon as we get together and we're celebrating together in the Fox Center, there's going to be this magnetic tendency that you'll have, which is, I want to reach out to my classmates. I have this bond with these classmates that is unbelievable, and that time is fleeting, and I want to grab hold of it. And that's fine, and I'll come back to that. But please, please, during this time, don't forget to thank the people that got you here, the people who are in the audience with us today, and the people who can't be with us today. Please take the time to thank them, because they supported your ambition to reach this point in your lives. The next request is, please stay connected to us. If you think about the quality of the experience that you had, it was made so much better because of the people that have preceded you, that they gave back. That maybe someone identified you and said, why don't you go to Fuqua? It's a great place. Maybe someone has been here and shared their wisdom and their experience during your time. Maybe someone has provided you with network connections that have made a difference in your life. Maybe someone has hired you. There's so many ways that you can give back. And so for a class that has invested so heavily in creating a great team, your job is far from done because you are still a member of that team and you have a responsibility to those who will follow you. You need to make sure that next year I say, that's the greatest team we've ever had. And we have to get better and better. And with your help, we can do that. So please stay connected to us. The next request, you're going to think I'm crazy. Because that request is, stay connected to each other. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, of course we're going to stay connected to each other. We love each other. We're just incredible. And so I could never forget these people. I owe them so much. But guess what? You're going to leave this place. You're going to enter into new communities. You're going to have family activities. You're going to have careers. Things are going to happen. It's called life. Life happens. And as life happens, unless you are proactive and unless you pay attention to shaping and maintaining the bonds that you have today, those bonds will surely dissipate. And so as you think about your future, think about this team that has been so important to you for the last 2 years. Think about how important that team can be to you over the next 50 years. Don't let those ties dissipate in any way. Strengthen them and recognize that this team can carry you a long way in life. And so please make the effort to stay in touch. The last request is the highest ask I have of you, the most demanding ask I have of you, which is we have enormous expectations in terms of what you're going to do once you leave Fuqua. We brought you here because we believed that you could be leaders of consequence. You leave now having convinced us that we were right, that you will be leaders of consequence. And so now all we ask of you is that you go out, you make a difference in the world, you make us proud that you are consequential, that you choose to lead lives not just of success, but lives of significance. I am extremely confident that you will make us proud. Thank you very much.